ready to go. Another big week, championship wrestling.
By golly, I love that word championship when we got one on the card.
We do indeed. We have a Southern title match today. King Konga is going to be in here trying to take that belt away from the King, Jerry Lawler.
Ooh.
Title match coming up.
Yes,
It'll be a 30-minute time limit. We have other matches, and we have standby matches. Zambuie Express will be here in tag team action today. We'll also have big Canadian lumberjack Joe LeDuc. The A-Team will be here, and hope we have time for this one. We have a standby match, which is a 6-man match with Austin Idol, Dutch Mantell, and Bugsy McGraw as a 6-man tag team.
All on one side of the ring?
Yeah, they're 3 on that side.
Night. We're looking for that, I'll tell you for a fact. In addition to that, Dave, I may regret this. I did on our behalf right here agree with Jimmy Hart. He said, I promise you it'll be worth your while if you let me start the show off. I've got the greatest news for you in the world. Now we're going to find out what it is. We'll be back in just a moment. Hey, in case you missed it, by golly, we got the Southern Heavyweight title match coming up today. The King and King Konga. Yeah, there he is. Feeling maybe we shouldn't have agreed to this. There he is, Jimmy Hart, greatest day of your life.
It is. You know, what are you doing wearing a hearing aid? Look at Lance's hearing aid. I told you you're getting old out here, man. You know, what did I tell you people? Now look, you can take the Hart Whip signs down. You can keep your mouth shut because I want you to put a camera on the most beautiful man in professional wrestling, Rick Rude. The man with a 50-inch chest, 20-inch arms, baby. Look at this, pose for him. Look at this. His pictures are already starting to come in the national-known magazines all over. You check the newsstands out. Girls calling from everywhere, baby, right here on the desk out front. Fan mail coming in. I promise you this. You know, you have stars in professional wrestling, and you have superstars. Rick Rude is the next superstar in professional wrestling.
This is the Rude Revolution. Is that it?
He's a gift to professional wrestling. And look at this. Who has the loveliest valet? I'm not talking about myself now. I'm talking about Angel. Isn't she beautiful? Look at this girl. You've seen other TV shows, but she's gorgeous, man. Yeah. So he's got it. He's got the greatest manager in the world, Jimmy Hart. He's got the greatest body in the world and the most beautiful valet in the world. And we're ready for any challengers around, right, Rick? Show him this body, baby.
That's right.
Woo!
I didn't notice Rude's name on our championship wrestling today.
You know why? Because we can't get anybody out of the back room to fight the man. Everybody's scared of Rick Rude. That's why. The Clark Gable of professional wrestling. Come on, Rick. Let's go sign some autographs, baby.
Jimmy Hart, the sensational Rick Rude, and Angel. I'm not really sure that was all worth waiting for or not, Dave.
I don't know.
I tell you, we had an interesting reaction to Dirty Rhodes and Harley Davidson, who we introduced last week. Want to take a look at some film that's got the action of those guys in it. Let's take a look right now. Trucking on down here about 270.
I seen you out there a while ago with all them ugly people saying they was beautiful, Daddy. You look at the most beautiful man in professional wrestling.
Certainly.
$1 million baby. Hello out there. You know, I was back there when I heard Jimmy Hart talk about that angel in disguise, whatever she was. I looked up the word ugly in the dictionary, and that girl's picture was right beside that word. Yes, sir. They told me that they went to the Empire State Building, and the planes started attacking that lady. That's right. I saw her in the hallway, and she was backing up to the water fountain to get a drink. That girl is ugly. And he thinks he's pretty, Jack. When he goes to the psychiatrist, he has to lay face down on the couch.
You got it going today, Dirty.
Hey, Austin, Texas is where it is, and you look at it what it is, baby. Dirty roads, dirt. And what happens after the dust settles, baby? Hard to get rid of, impossible to deal with. Dirty roads.
By golly, we're looking forward to seeing you in action today, too.
Get me somebody in here, baby, so I can whoop some booty.
You ready to go do it?
Yeah.
Okay, Dirty Rhodes, and we'll be looking for him in the ring. You'll be seeing a lot more of him, and we hope to get a chance to talk to him. He's a lot of fun, and boy, let me tell you what, he can flat get it on in that ring, and when he gets with that 290-pound partner, Dave, I mean, that's some tall cotton right there.
Oh, you got that right. He's in there right now as a single. This match is going to be one fall, 10-minute time limit. Introducing the competition for him at 208 pounds out of Memphis, Tennessee, Pat Hutchinson. And going against him from Austin, Texas, 271 pounds, Dirty Rhodes. One fall, 10-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
All righty, the jackets, the vest, or whatever come off, and we're about ready. Bell time. Jerry Calhoun says, let's get it on.
Dirty Rhodes. Had our first look at him with Harley Davidson, his partner, his tag team partner. Here's a single today against the man who has on the back of his wrestling jacket, Handsome Hutch, Pat Hutchinson. Hutchinson. Whoa.
Hey, I tell you, with all the kidding around and the fun that he has, brother, this guy can flat do it to you now. I mean, he can go.
He put a move on Hutchinson, no doubt about it. He followed up nicely, too. Dirty Rhodes on his feet. Pat Hutchinson back up on his feet now. Slips around behind Rhodes. Rhodes just pins him back in the corner.
I don't think that's what he had in mind, Dave.
I think Hutchinson thought maybe he was going to be able to take him down.
Pat waist locked him. It was going to take him off his feet, and Dirty just turned him around and crunched.
Headlock by Dirty Rhodes. Hutchinson trying to use the ropes. Fires Rhodes into the ropes crossway.
Oh, yeah.
Big shoulder. Wow, all that weight behind it. And Hutchinson on the mat again. Just a minute, he said. Oh, big upper arm. And you see the result right there as Hutchinson lying on the mat. Dirty Rhodes picking it up. Hammers in with the elbow. Drops it down across the chest. Might be it. 1, 2, and 3. That's going to do it. As Dirty Rhodes comes away with the win. Time on the match, 1 minute 38 seconds. 1 minute 38.
Oh, he's too much. No doubt about that. Dirty Rhodes giving the referee a hard way to go. He flat gave Pat one as he nailed him with that elbow twice. Once bang on the head, bang across the chest. He put him away with a 1, 2, 3, Dave. Dirty Rhodes, and we're going to be looking for action coming up in just one moment. We'll take time out and be back for it.
Fires him into the ring post. Here comes Stagger Lee. Austin thrown back in the ring. Norvell Austin, Stagger Lee, Zambuie Express. Look out, double slam on Austin. On top of him, and they hook the leg. Believe he got it. Yes, sir.
Okay. We're looking for the Zambuie Express, who ended up, as a matter of fact, walking through the door with the big Southern Tag Team belts in their hands. Yes, sir. Mr. Kareem Mohammed and Mr. Elijah.
Hey, you done said enough. Get in the back. Tell him again. What I told you. I told you before we went out there that the Zambuie Express will be champion. And when I say something, you better believe it. You know, Mr. Mohammed, you know, they have stolen from us long enough. And that's the last time that you ever
gonna see anybody else with these belts besides the Zambuie Express. You know, my daddy and your granddaddy told us to listen. When you biggest man is Mr. Muhammad, don't nobody take nothing away from you. And if they do, they pay for it, and they pay heavy. And Stagger Lee and Novell. Only example, what happened to people that steal things that belong to the Zambuie Express. A note to everybody in this area, in this world, you're going to have to deal with the Zambuie Express. One way or the other. Darren Lawler, you can run, but you can't hide. Austin Idol, you can run, but you can't hide. And before it's all over and said and done, you're going to have to deal with the Zambuie Express. And what you think about that?
I would like to see you get in the ring. We got a match scheduled, and so a non-title bout, the Southern Tag Team Champions, Mr. Mohammed and Mr. Akeem heading to the ring. Here are the official introductions, Dave.
This is going to be a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match, introducing at a total of 424 pounds. Both from Memphis, Tennessee, Jim Jameison and Ken Raper, and they've just been jumped by the Zambuie Express over there in the corner.
They're going to keep on pounding until they go ahead and do it, so you just will ring the bell as the Zambuie Express set the pace for Jim Jameison and Ken Raper in the ring. You see the kind of size. Wow, there goes Jameison, fired out of the ring, down on the floor. Ken Raper taking a big broad arm shot from Mr. Kareem Muhammad. There's a clothesline as Akeem ended up catching him right upside the face, decked him down to it, foot right in the chest. Oh, they are big, 660.
660 pounds, you're right.
Mr. Kareem Muhammad throwing Ken Raper around the ring. And when you're in there with these guys, you just cannot. You have to watch them all the time. You can't let them get the upper hand, because as big as they are, it is very difficult to get back up with them. Jim Jameison takes the tag, and his problem to get in with Elijah Akeem.
Double team back in the corner.
Referee finally gets Akeem back, and now it's Muhammad with a broad arm down the middle of the chest. Jameson's head slammed into that turnbuckle. Ooh, that's nice.
Head first, right into the turnbuckle again. In order to beat the Zambuie Express, I think you got to go in there with a game plan.
How about a couple of guns?
It could help too. But I don't think Jameison and Raper really had the game plan when they went in there, and they've been in trouble since the opening bell.
Elijah Akeem really pounding Jim Jameison around on the rope. Referee Jerry Calhoun trying to get him backed up off the rope. And he breaks right at the count of 3 every time, but he nails Jameison just as he breaks.
Oh.
Ugh. Kareem Muhammad takes over. And he nails Jim Jameison. Once again, across the ring, slammed into the turnbuckle, and Jim has been pounded around severely since he has been in there. Nothing disparaging about Jameison, but he's just not big enough, and he got off to a bad start, and he has just been hammered all over. Look out, here he comes. Sailing. That huge weight drops down. That's all she wrote.
3 minutes, 14 seconds the time on it, 3:14, and just the overpowering presence of the Zambuie Express. They use that 660 pounds to their full advantage. Here's how they used it to their advantage just a moment ago as they wrap this one up. You can see all that weight as he comes across the ring in the air, and about 4 feet straight down he dropped on Jim Jameison, and you saw Ken Raper just turn over there. He knew it was over at that very moment as the count was falling, count of 3, and it was all over the Zambuie Express with another win.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've seen guys go against this Zambuie team with a lot more experience than Jim and Ken have, and they don't fare too well in there either. They are just huge to overcome. We have a Southern Heavyweight title match coming up. We're going to be back to it in just a moment. Okay, we're going to be ready to go with the Southern Heavyweight title match coming up in just a moment. We're going to see if we can get the King out here before he gets in the ring. There he is! Jerry, we're looking forward to your title defense today, and you got a stout one to go. But before you got in the ring, I'd like for you to see a tape that we got from J.J. Dillon. Let's take a look at it.
You know, the bodies keep falling by the wayside, and everybody else is sure taking notice, everybody but you. Now, King Konga is the most devastating thing to ever hit this area. And you got all your fans patting you on the back, telling you what a beautiful job you do with your TV show. What a great international star you are. But that star could fall at any given moment. You know, Jerry Lawler, King Konga, and James J. Dillon are here, and they're here to stay. And the confrontation is inevitable, just like the sun coming up in the morning and going down at night, just like the tide coming in and the tide coming out. It's going to happen. And Lawler, if you continue to ignore me, and if you continue to ignore King Konga, I'm going to take drastic measures, and you'll see what I mean.
I'll let that threat go to you.
Yeah, he talks pretty rough as long as it's long distance.
Yeah,
See, he's real tough when he's down in Florida, sending all those little interviews in here. Well, he said one thing right. The confrontation is inevitable, and I'm tickled to death. Now, let me just explain to you about this. Eddie Marlin came to me, and he said he thought King Konga deserved a shot at the Southern title. And he wanted to book that match, and he wanted to have it at one of the big arenas. And I said, let me ask you a favor, Eddie. Now, you're coming to me and asking me if I'll do you a favor and wrestle King Konga and put up the Southern Heavyweight title. I said, I will under one condition. You do me a favor. I said, let's put the match on television where everybody can see the match. There are a lot of people, you know, that don't get to come to the Coliseums or the arenas and everything for one reason or another. But today, they're going to get to see a Southern Heavyweight title match right here on television.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to say this to Mr. J.J. Dillon. He calls his man King Konga, and I call myself King Lawler. But I want to tell you this, Dillon. I got my name the old-fashioned way, brother. I earned it.
I love it. The King. He's heading to the ring right now, and he'll be meeting King Konga. And this is a genuine, authentic Southern Heavyweight title match. Terry giving away 30-something pounds to this guy. Okay, Dave.
All right, Southern Tag Team title match. Right now, one fall, a special 30-minute time limit for television. One fall, 30-minute time limit. Introducing the challenger for the belt at 261 pounds. Out of the streets of New York City, King Konga. And the champion, 234 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, the King, Jerry Lawler. One fall, 30-minute time limit for the Southern Heavyweight Championship. The referee is Jerry Calhoun.
Okay, the colorful cape of Lawler is off. Konga pulling off those studded collars and bracelets that he has, and his vest of chains. We're about ready to do it if he'll get rid of that stuff.
There's a shirt up there.
What a haircut, huh?
Yeah. I know his barber, so I'll be sure not to go there.
Okay, we're about ready for it. This is for television, a one-fall 30-minute Southern heavyweight title match. And here we go, the king out. Jerry must be pumped up. Boy, he's out in a hurry. You know, usually Jerry's a very slow starter. Well, that didn't look like too fast a start, but it's only the beginning, folks.
The King's giving away weight here today, quite a bit of weight. He's almost 30 pounds. Konga weighing in at 261. They tangle in the middle of the ring, and Konga again shoves Lawler down to the mat. That's twice already in the match that Lawler's found himself there, and we're only about 40 seconds into it. Konga has him off the mat, up in the air, and he slams him. Jerry Lawler, for the third time in the match, has found himself in the unaccustomed position of being on the mat. Still not in danger of a pin at any of those 3 times, but on the mat nonetheless. Southern heavyweight belt at stake. Lawler in the air again. Konga tosses him about 1/4 of the way across the ring, and Lawler again bounces on the boards. Konga taunting him, saying, "Come on, stand up, King."
Well, Konga's got it going right at the moment, but it is a long way from being over, Putnam. You and I both know, Dave, that Lawler has tremendous recuperative powers. He'll eat a few to learn something and see what he can do with it.
Lawler hanging back close to the corner. Konga talking to the crowd. Konga, again, paying more attention to the crowd than he is his opponent.
Mistake.
Yep.
Really. Lawler put to the midsection. Doesn't back Konga up. Not one bit.
There's King Konga. There's a boot of Jerry Lawler to the midsection again, and Konga not shaken by it. King Konga. Lawler almost back into the corner. Lawler reverses on him, puts Konga back in the corner. Crowd says, yeah, use that right hand. Lawler does, but again and again, it does not faze Konga. King Konga steps out of the corner very slowly and calmly. Look at the size difference here. You get a good idea of that 30-some pound weight advantage that Konga has on Lawler. Lawler backed into the ropes again. Ooh. Right hand by Konga.
The arms on that guy and the mass up there. He's not necessarily a bodybuilder's type body. He's just massive. He's got good muscle definition in spot, but he sure is massive. Whoa.
Lawler back on the ropes. Konga forces him back into a corner and swings that right fist, that gloved right fist, I might add. As we approach 4.5 minutes of the action, so far, it has been all the challenger, King Konga. There's a little change as Lawler slams his head into the turnbuckle. But again, doesn't upset Konga. He slams his own head into the turnbuckle.
Kind of quieted the crowd. They were all hopped as Jerry started an offensive effort. And Konga just shook it off.
About near the center of the ring. Konga goes for the throat, picks Lawler up by the throat in a choke. Referee starts the count, and just before the count of 3, Konga just drops Lawler. 5 minutes gone. Remember, the time limit for this one is 30 minutes as the Southern Heavyweight Championship is on the line. That's the champion who's just been body slammed again. King Konga drops down. Lawler picked up by the hair. There's a shot of that head bouncing off the turnbuckle. I think maybe he got his attention that time. The strap comes down, and the King comes back. Konga being shaken by the right hand thrown by Lawler. And that one got him off his feet. Boy, that brings the crowd to their feet as Lawler has turned the tables on Konga. Smacking him with that right hand, a referee trying to get him to stop that and keep the fist open. 6 minutes gone.
Remember, our time is a special television time for the Southern Heavyweight title. One fall 30 minutes rather than the traditional 60 minutes.
Look out, Zambuie Express. The match is over. Oh, what is that? Listen, a lot of the other guys are in here. The A-Team, Pat Hutchinson, Winston, LeDuc.
Yeah.
They are blocking the door to prevent help from getting in here to Lawler.
Let anybody else in. There's LeDuc and Big Lou Winston and Hutchinson, the A-Team over there. So that Jameison trying to get in, Bugsy, McGraw. They're trying to battle their way in. Meanwhile, the Zambuie and Konga pounding away on the King.
There's the door being barred by Rick Rude and the A-Team. That's one of the doors. There's another one, but that one is being barred by some other members of the family.
Yeah, there's 2 entrances, and they took care of any help coming in.
Yeah.
As they sealed it off with chairs and chains and bodies. People trying to bust through, and they finally got the door open. Lawler really hammered up. He's bleeding in the ring. He was banged around viciously by the Zambuie and by King Konga. We've got a skirmish going on over at the big door. Bugsy, McGraw busting through. And here comes Dirty Rhodes, David Johnson, some others. Ken Raper. As Konga working on Lawler continues, Jerry. Blood out of that right eye and down by his right nostril where he was hammered around. And LeDuc and company take off as the idol comes in. And Jerry pounded around pretty good after the Zambuie Express interfered in the match. He got things going. Dutch Mantell was saying we couldn't get in. They had the doors held up in there. Disqualification. Yeah, Dave, what kind of time you got?
All right, the time was 6 minutes, 26 seconds when they jumped in there. And Lawler is still the Southern Heavyweight Champion. I think we see the turning point of the match at the point where Lawler pretty well had things in control.
Right.
Maybe we can take a look at that, and it looked like Lawler was well on his way to winning the match on his own. Here you see it, yeah, there with the right hand as he staggers King Konga. And again, he nails him. And at this point, after a very slow start for Lawler, it appeared that he did have things very well in control as Konga was just about off his feet. And I think the next one there, yeah, that takes him down to the mat. And then, in just a few seconds after that, the Zambuie Express hit the ring. It was 3 against 1. They barred the doors. But again, Lawler is still the champion by disqualification.
Yep. Well, there is no question that Jerry, we said he came out of the corner fast, but bang, that Konga is very stout, and it took Jerry a little while to get it going. I think what he really had to have, he had some adrenaline, but he had to really get it fired up, as sometimes that pounding around will do to him. And he got it going eventually, and when he did, it was at that point. And you notice that Hart sent in all the first family and a lot of guys to bar off both of the doors so nobody could get in there.
He sent in everybody, and it did take 3 against 1 in order to work over Lawler.
Zambuie, and you imagine that, 660 and 261 or so, going on Lawler up there at 234. So they really pounded around on him. Now, there's nothing like winning, but that's a hard way to win. Zambuie's came roaring out of the nowhere, bounced into the ring. They've got, you see Pat Hutchinson grabbing a chair to help bar the door, and the Zambuie's are standing up there. There's LeDuc, Big Lou Winston, Pat Hutchinson with a chair, and all the time the Zambuie and King Konga up there pounding on Lawler. And that's only one door. You see Bugsy McGraw, we'll be seeing Bugs a little bit later on. He's trying to force his way through as dirty Rhodes and all, and they had it pretty well stopped up. And the strategy, I will have to take my hat off to them strategy-wise. They had the doors all blocked, and that gave them a chance. The time, once again, Dave?
Time on it was 6:26.
6:26. Lawler, still the Southern heavyweight title holder, wins it on a disqualification. We've got time out, and we're going to see more action coming up in just a moment. p.m. Now, what I tell you, 3 o'clock Sunday. That's when our wrestling is this week. Sunday at 3 o'clock, an opportunity for you to come on out at the regular prices and see a dynamite card of action. The opening bout will be an all-gals tag match. Wendy Richter, the Dallas Cowgirl, Lalani Kai will be teaming to go against Penny Mitchell and Princess Victoria in the opening bout. Then a chance to see Harley Davidson and Dirty Rhodes. Afternoon, 3 o'clock, sensational championship wrestling.
Let me just say this. Let me say this right now. That's a very nice card. That's a lot of exciting matches. But that's still not all, because I've just been talking to Eddie Marlin back there, and we've just added another match. After all of this is over, we're going to get King Konga's big butt back in that ring, and this time, brother, I'm going to have my friends on hand, because Eddie Marlin has just added a lumberjack match to the end of that card. Against Konga, and we're going to have people like Austin Idol and Dutch Mantell and Bugsy McGraw surrounding the ring. And Konga, that's going to keep you in, and Zambuie Express and the rest of that jerks back there, that's going to keep you out. So all in all, this looks like, as Hart likes to say, the greatest day of my life tomorrow afternoon.
Coming up with a dynamite card and then another addition in there, a lumberjack match.
Yeah, and I'm glad about it. You know, there's one thing that Jerry Lawler and us now have in common. And you can take a look way back in history when we tried to beat each other's brains out, darling. You see, there's one thing we've got in common, darling. We don't mind sweating and we don't mind bleeding. The only thing we ask is that we get our turn at bat. You know what I'm saying? And tomorrow afternoon, darling, me and the King are going to get our turn at bat. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking small time Zambuie Express, King Konga. Oh, no. We ain't talking Bush League. Oh, no. We ain't talking big time. We're talking Memphis, Tennessee. We're talking about the home of the King. We're talking about now the home, away from home of the Idol, darling. And Sunday, darling, I can't wait, you see, because the old thing is, the old thing is, you either soar with the eagles or you scratch with the chickens. And tomorrow, darling, we're going to soar awfully high.
Hey! One more thing, Dad. My head's been busted before, and it'll probably be busted again, but I'm not like Rick Rude. I don't claim to be a pretty boy. I don't try to win any beauty contest. As Austin Idol said, I don't mind bleeding, brother. But tomorrow, Zambuie Express and King Konga, we're going to see the color of your blood, brother.
Ooh, that'll be happening tomorrow. And don't forget to add that extra bout in there with Lawler and Konga in a lumberjack match. We'll put it on our card. Hey, speaking of bleeding, and this is not the world's greatest pastime, but, brother, let me tell you, when you get two guys in there going like Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer and Joe LeDuc, you have a little bit of it. Let's take a look at what happened in this Mad Dog match. the canines chewing away on each other. Hard up on his knees on the ringside. Sawyer booming LeDuc. LeDuc going after the face, clawing at Buzz Sawyer. Dumps him over the top rope. He's got him hanging there. Sawyer trying to relieve the pressure. Oh, man, what a mess. Sawyer leaps over the rope, comes in after LeDuc. Slugs him again and again. Out of the corner, Joe over the top rope. Sawyer pulling on the big Canadian. Hey, LeDuc slipped his collar. Oh, it's Hart that has a hold of it. And Sawyer pulls Hart up on the ring apron. LeDuc from behind nails him. In the small of the back, crushes him over. Maybe in 1, 2, 3. He got it. Sawyer was trying to suspend him up there. LeDuc working Buzz Sawyer over, and here comes Brett Sawyer with 2 chairs. And out go LeDuc and Jimmy Hart. Yeah, the 1, 2, 3 went to Joe LeDuc, and I got to tell you, I'm not crazy about the way he does it, but you got to get up pretty early in the morning to get ahead of that Hart. That sucker was down. Now, we couldn't see it. You could see the other camera, but we couldn't see it at the time, what was happening. And Joe LeDuc was there, and Jimmy Hart was taking the collar off, and Buzz Sawyer resented it. As a matter of fact, before we talk to Joe LeDuc, I want to take a listen and see what Buzz Sawyer had to say about this upcoming match. Let's listen.
I'm thinking about Memphis, Tennessee. I'm thinking about the dog collar. I'm thinking about a collar around my neck. And I'm the master because I am the Mad Dog. Joe LeDuc, I had you bloodied. I had you beat. I had you to the doom of entrance, baby. I had you finished. And then little weasel Hart, you come up out of nowhere, and you unloose him, and you knock me out from behind. Well, let me tell you something, Hart. I'm the Mad Dog, the only Mad Dog. And when I come to Memphis, Tennessee, this Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, me and my brother, Brett Sawyer, is going to take you, Jimmy Hart. He's going to take you, and he's going to put a little pair of handcuffs around here. Get a close-up for this face. It ain't never been pretty. It ain't never going to be. Duke, you're not too pretty either. But with my brother handcuffed to Jimmy Hart, I'm going to take the toll out on you, and you're going down. Memphis, Tennessee, 3 o'clock, the Mad Dog. Moo!
Well, there's Buzz Sawyer.
You know, I ain't worried about nothing, Buzz Sawyer, because with me is the greatest athlete in the world today, Big Joe LeDuc. You know, a lot of people have said they're going to get to Jimmy Hart, but they ain't done it yet, baby. Right, Joe?
You got to be right, Mr. Hart. You're my manager, and nobody's going to touch you. Buzz Sawyer, you are so dumb, you are so stupid that you didn't realize that this kind of match, the Mad Dog match that you asked for, there is no rule, and I will do anything in my power to win. I will break your legs, I will poke your eyes, I'll take your eyes out of their sockets if I have to. All I ask Mr. Hart to do is hold on to the rope until I do my thing, because I'm a winner, Buzz Sawyer. You hear that, brother? I'm a winner, and tomorrow,
you want to get to Memphis with your little fat brother, that's fine with me. You can tie him to me, my manager. And when it's all over, Sawyer, supposedly mad dog, you're going to find out that the real dog, the real strong man, the real power, the real winner is Joe LeDuc and Jimmy Hart, because we are the best. And you're the rest you're talking about. A man that's been on network television for years. I remember not too long ago, Sawyer, what kind of tactic you used. Up until your mother come down to Channel 17 and say, oh, my son changed.
Mama's boy.
You did not change. Your mother's been in lumber camp, never worked a day in her life, always full of money, just like those old pretty boys that's around you. Now, let me tell you something. This is the champion. And you're going to find out tomorrow.
We got to take a break. We got to take a break, and you guys can stay out here and talk to yourselves. Let's take a break, please.
Training film on Big Joe LeDuc. He is the world's strongest professional athlete.
One thing I got to agree with you, brother, is this tape is incredible. And we'll take a look at the feat that Joe LeDuc pulled off. I just can't believe that he was able to do it.
Superman, baby. He is a Superman of professional
wrestling. Here's a car.
wrestling.
Now, there's no gimmick to this. You watch. There's Joe LeDuc.
Look at this, baby. Look at this right here, man. Look at him wrestle. Look at him. Look at this, the strongest athlete. It's me again. That's right. The wonderful world of Joe LeDuc. Now, we showed you last week how Joe LeDuc could pull a 2-ton car all the way around the Coliseum. Now, maybe it impressed you, and maybe it didn't impress you, but it impressed me. But we're going to show you something today that I know that's going to impress you. All right, Joe LeDuc, the world's strongest professional athlete. Are you almost ready, Joe?
Yeah.
Is going to put his legs up on this bumper right here and hold this car 2 tons. 2 tons from crashing into him, because you know if it does, it's going to be all over for Big Joe LeDuc. All right, Joe, are you ready? Crank the car up. Crank the car. All right, the car has been cranked. Are you ready, Joe? Are you ready? Just a second here. I'm going to prove to everybody once and for all that he is the world's strongest professional athlete, because you know a foundation to a home. Without a foundation, the home crumbles. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right. All right. Let's go, baby. Come on. You can do it, Joe. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, Joe. Come on. Come on. Put on the gas. Put it, baby. Put it. Look. Look at him. Look. Look. Look at it. Look. Look, baby. Look at it. Come on, Joe. Hang on, baby. You're doing it. You're doing it, Joe. You're doing it, baby. You're doing it. Look at him. Look at him. Look. Look. Hang on. Cut it. Cut the car. Cut the car. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it. Are you okay, baby? Are you all right? Come on. Come on. Ease off. Ease off. Here. Push it back a little bit. Let it back. Let it back. Let it back. Let it back. Hang on. Hang on. You okay? Great, baby. 15 seconds, Joe. 15 seconds. Joe LeDuc, the world's strongest professional athlete. Beautiful, Joe. Beautiful. Come on. Don't stand up too fast. Beautiful, baby. Beautiful. I told you. I told you. I told him, baby. Look at it. Bring on the Sawyers. We're ready, baby. You better be ready, right, Joe?
Okay, time to go to the ring. Hey, let me tell all of you out there viewing, don't anybody be dumb enough to try that. One slip, if his leg's in a buckle, he's mashed with that concrete wall stuff. Man, we just want to warn everybody, don't try that. Look at LeDuc. Bell time, Dave.
Already underway as Joe LeDuc jumps Keith Eric.
Come on, Dave, say something. Don't be in shock, sitting over like an idiot. Look at him, baby, the world of Joe LeDuc.
I'm looking at him, Jimmy. I'm looking at him as he jumped Keith Eric even before the bell rang. Nailed him with a forearm. Now coming off the ropes, he smacks him with a forearm. Keith Eric on the mat, being picked up by the hair. The Canadian lumberjack Joe LeDuc, he weighs in at 286 out of Montreal, Canada. There's a boot to the midsection. Keith Eric out of Memphis, Tennessee, weighing in at 206. And LeDuc fires him into the rope. Oh, you can hear it across the county. There's the cover.
Nailed with a telephone pole.
That is it. It was not 30 seconds, as Jimmy Hart indicated. It was actually 50 seconds. That's still, of course, well under a minute. And Joe LeDuc has dominated this match. I think you can see here how Joe wrapped it up. As he backed Eric into the rope, fired him across the way, a clothesline, and wow, that was it. As he falls on him, referee's hand falls for the third time right there, and Joe LeDuc has the win in 50 seconds.
You know, Jimmy Hart irritates me. I hate to hear him talk about it. There's no question about it. LeDuc is incredibly strong. Good night. That one was so short. Jimmy Hart's got his A-team in there already. So, hey, let's go ahead and get at it. Coming in, Brian Adidas. This will be our first look at him. David Johnson, fine young fella, will be over there. Dave, how about the official introductions on it?
All right, this is going to be a one-fall 10-minute time limit match. Total weight 440 pounds. From Memphis, Tennessee, David Johnson and his partner from Dallas, Texas, Brian Adidas. Going against him at 590 pounds from parts unknown, Jimmy Hart's A-team. This match, one fall, 10-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun again, the referee.
Boogie Adidas out of Dallas is in there, and the A-team, well, of course, they are just, wow. Big, look at that Adidas go.
A lucky drop kick, that's what I think.
Well, we'll find out. Our first look at Brian Adidas.
Don't worry, baby, I got Boom Boom in there now. He's going to take care of him.
Nice reversal.
Pull him tight. Pull in the top part of the pipe. You saw it.
Looked like pretty good hip toss to me as he took him right over and down. Brian Adidas out of Dallas, Texas. Tangles up with A-team member number 1.
Whoa. Bob took out a camera on him.
Yes, and a cameraman.
Yes.
He didn't pull the top of the mask. Tell me he didn't do it. Tell me.
I won't tell you anything, Jimmy.
I'll tell you, he's just body slammed both of the A-team.
Boy, he is really going at it, Adidas is. And hooks him up. There's a tag on David Johnson. David takes over. And David bounced down.
One of the two wrestlers. That's what we're
Oh,
going
I
to do, baby.
see. Okay,
We're going
Jimmy.
to show you how tough the A-team really is.
Glad you really pointed that out to everybody. Pounding in the midsection. David Johnson goes down hard. A-team working on David. Adidas over there looking for a tag. But David's a long way away from the corner.
You know what? He's a long way of being a professional wrestler, too. I'm so excited I can't even talk to that. You know, he's from the Coco Ware School of Wrestling. Look at him, baby.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Funny. A-team number 2 in there. They keep tagging in and out of there as they've got Johnson into the rope.
Beautiful.
Nailed him. Oh,
Now look,
boy.
a 300-pound man. Get the house off the ground.
That's it.
1, 2, 3, and that's going to be it. He really got him. That was good teamwork, even though they're not supposed to do that.
Look out, they're going after Adidas.
Look at Adidas. All right. Out of the ring, the
Hey, we won the match. We won the match.
Okay, Jimmy. They left.
I didn't want to be fined. I know anybody would try to find us. Hey.
Well, the A-team ends up with a victory, but Brian Adidas looking awfully good in there in his first appearance.
He was indeed our first look at him here on Championship Wrestling. He comes in out of Dallas, Texas. We didn't really know what to expect, but boy, it didn't take us long to find out. As look at this action from right in the middle of the match as he's in there against the A-team. Boot to the midsection, slams the heads together. Taking on both of those guys is no small task.
Adidas not a giant as big as the A-team, but he's a pretty sizable young man. He's got big build, big arms on him, so he's got plenty of strength. Nice drop kick. Brian Adidas and David Johnson ended up losing it to the A-team, but Adidas showed us a lot in there. We're going to take time out. Be back in just a moment. unusual individual, Bugsy McGraw, who's shoveling a little snow, and I certainly hope that that isn't the case, that it's going to be that way. Say it ain't so, Dave. Say it ain't so. Bugsy, can we get you distracted a moment from your snow shovel? No, we don't want to do battle with anybody. Now, that's more like it. We want to talk to you a little bit about your bout for the Mid-America title coming up against Macho Man Randy Savage.
Macho Man, I want to be a macho man. What do you think I was out here doing, Macho Man Randy Savage? What do you think I was shoveling? That's the kind of stuff you put down. That's what I was shoveling, sweetheart.
I shouldn't have asked.
Macho Man Savage, I just have a few words for all the things that you think you are. You think you're so handsome. You think you're so cool. You think you're dynamic. You think you're mean. You think you're tough. You think you're bad. You think you're strong. You think you're one of the greatest wrestlers in all the world. You think you're superior. I just have 2 words for all that. Your mama. Your mama.
Oh, Dutch, I know you brought the Bugs in.
I brought my man, that's Bugsy McGraw. There's nobody in the world like him. But let me say one thing for Rick Rude now. You know,
yeah,
Rick
you
Rude,
got Jimmy Hart's news.
You know, Rick Rude's got a lot of things going for him. He's got Jimmy Hart to do his talking. He's got a pretty little gal, and he's got a terrific bite. He's got 20-inch arms. But you know, Rude, kids go to school. They go to elementary school, and they go to junior high, and then they go to high school. And then if they're real smart, they go to college. And if they really got something on the ball, they get a PhD. Well, I got a PhD, Rude. When I meet you at the Mid-South Coliseum, I'm going to take you back to school, and I'm going to show you how a real man does it. Rude, you crank it up. You bring heart. You bring that little girl, because I'm going after you, because you haven't met any top name, but you're meeting me. And when they talk about having met somebody, all they had to do was look over to me, and I've always been there. So, Rude, I'll be waiting on you, and Bugsy will be waiting on the Macho Man, and I'm going to be watching it.
That'll be something to see, too, because you heard Hart out here talking about they couldn't get anybody to get in there with Rick Rude. He's got somebody tomorrow afternoon. You can bet on that. Rude will be in there with a tough Dutchman. Bugsy McGraw will be in there with Randy Savage. Speaking of Randy Savage... Ooh, if you just got in with us, you still have time to see the 6-man tag, but they missed the Southern Heavyweight Championship match that was on a little earlier. Even though we weren't too thrilled at the end, there was a lot of excitement here. We had about 30 different guys in the studio at one time. Woo, place filled up. Look at Bugsy McGraw over there with Austin Island. He is a sight and a half. Okay, Davey.
Expiration of time match, 6-man tag team action. Introducing a total of 679 pounds. From parts unknown, the Destroyer. Also from parts unknown, the Pink Panther. From Memphis, Tennessee, Big Lou Winston. Going against him at a total of 760 pounds. From Oil Trough, Texas, Dutch Mantell. From Florida, Bugsy McGraw. And from Las Vegas, Nevada, the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol. Match to the expiration of time, Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Whoa-go! The fellas closest to us are going to have a hard day today, David. They really got a rugged match. Mantell, Idol, and McGraw will make sizable competition for anybody. Big Lou starting with Dutch.
That is a super team over there. Boy, any of those guys by themselves are formidable opponents. You put them all together, you got some kind of team.
Lou just took a whale of a swing at Mantell, and Mantell just barely ducked out of the way of it. He almost lost his head right at the beginning of the match. Big Lou Winston being pounded now by the rugged Dutchman. There's a tag on Bugsy. This guy goes about 300, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's in it, I believe it's 289 is his official weight.
The Idol. One to the midsection. He's giving him that Las Vegas look. He got ready to take him in the air. Big Lou Winston. The Idol coming with a knee. Drop right down on him hard. One, up, Lou battling his way out.
Well, the
Idol calls for a foot. Isn't that what he was saying? Sounded like it.
The Idol had body slammed Big Lou, though, and he said, "Stay right there, I'll be back." And he came flying across the ring at him.
Lou made it over and tagged the Destroyer. Referee telling Dutch, no, don't do that.
Crowd said yes. Referee said no. Bugsy McGraw dropping with the right hand.
Buzz got cranked up on that one when he went in there. Here comes the Idol, Destroyer. Drop down across the knee. The Idol off the ropes with the knee. Drops right down on him. And a backbreaker. It's Austin. Pounds down on the Destroyer. Side headlock. Hard time getting very close. Dutch over the shoulder with a Pink Panther. Tag on Bugsy. The Pink Panther. And as the Idol comes back in the ring on this six-man battle and slams the Panther down, we are, I think we're going to take time out, Dave. Austin, Las Vegas leg lock. He's got it. The winners, and we'll get the time when we come back. See you. Scrappy little bout, that six-man tag match, as a matter of fact. Wish we had a little more time so we could see some more of it. But we did have a Southern heavyweight title match today, and while it did not end up exactly the way the King would have liked to have had it, he did retain the Southern heavyweight title on a disqualification when the Zambuies jumped in. Well, for Dave Brown, this is Lance Russell, and what we're going to do is tell you to take a look at a little action until we see you.